to follow, and this is, like she said, my first time. But it was the finals week of my last year of college, and I somehow managed to be in a military hospital in Virginia. Okay, actually, sorry. Before we even really get into talking about this situation, you need to know a little bit about me. I have that type of sort of extroverted anxiety where I had a full-blown successful skincare business when I was in 6th grade for folks with sensitive skin. Shout out to my eczema people. Anyone in the, okay, cool. While simultaneously not being able to put on stickers anywhere because that was just too much of a commitment. It was like, okay, I can't put this here because what if I regret it? What if there's another spot that I'd rather put this on later? Like, I'm just going to admire the page of stickers and just look at it. But in any event, it was actually my junior year of college, which was my senior year because I decided to graduate a year early, which of course someone who is overdoing it would never ever do. And I was president of Hillel. I was taking 18 credit hours. I was becoming a certified Pennsylvania domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking advocate. And I was also dealing with my own chronic health issues and disabilities and those sort of things going on. And as a Sunday school teacher, and I was also mothering like a 23-year-old man-child of a boyfriend that was still trying to like relive his glory days being a frat guy. Nevertheless, I could have been doing more. Like I definitely could have been doing more. Oh, and I was also an EMT and volunteering like 80 hours a week, I want to say. So yeah, could have been doing more, definitely. But from the start of the semester, I was just having, cold, I got strep, I had mono, I was having health flares, like just the whole thing was going down and I was like so sick, which really sucked, but I also like wasn't asking for help, which, neither here nor there. But I was just having to get pumped with so many different antibiotics and going back and forth to the doctor's office and even saw Charlie XCX on antibiotics, could barely stand, but very brat for those in the audience who understand that reference. And, it was about a week before I was admitted to the hospital, I found out that man-child of an ex-boyfriend, now, thank God, was cheating on me with his ex. And, heartbreaking, right? But I definitely could not be heartbroken because it was just like, oh my God, this is another thing to add to my to-do list. Like, I have to process this like devastation of, getting cheated on for the first time in between planning at my Sunday school curriculum and, writing a final paper. So it was just like, I did not have the bandwidth to be able to really, deal with it. And I just remember thinking, I was like, why am I so like upset about this and frustrated? I don't even like the guy, And I feel so ill over this. Spoiler alert, it was the meningitis. Couple days later, I woke up in the morning and I could not move my head. I could also not really walk at all, but I was like, don't sweat it. Like, I'm gonna get to class. Like, I've got shit to do. And thank God my roommates called my mom and was like, you have to come get her. And so she took me back to Virginia, where I spent the next few days in the hospital trying to recover from meningitis. And all the while, I somehow managed to keep on doing my finals online and was managing Hillel and finished my certification and all maintained a 4.0, not to toot my own horn, but for that semester and still was able to graduate early. And so it was just really one of those things that like, when you have that near-death experience, like the sepsis, the hospital stay, the whole thing, it puts things in perspective. I realized that I couldn't really be overdoing it anymore like this. And so, of course, about a year after I did an anniversary sort of thing on this like really big event of almost dying, I decided to do a half marathon, and now I only have 4 jobs. So yeah, we're good. Thank you.